Well, I love those pictures of those little babies. And the fact it is a baby isn't just the only truth that abortion clinics don't want you to know. Because behind the closed doors of the abortion mills lie a host of secrets designed to keep the money flowing. My first guest knows those secrets from the inside. For years, she helped run, even owned large abortion clinics. Well, that is until God opened her eyes and changed her life. Would you please welcome a dear friend and a wonderful advocate for life, Carol Everett. Carol, so nice to have you.
Thank you. So good to be with you.
Yours is a powerful story of someone who was running abortion mills. How did you ever get into that business? I mean, it's not a business you go to college and say, I'd like to run an abortion factory.
I was justifying my own abortion. I couldn't deal with what I'd done, but each time I sold another woman an abortion in some very sick, twisted way, if she was okay, I was okay. And I evolved into the abortion industry, and then I saw something else. I saw the money I could make. I saw the way to be a millionaire selling abortions.
See, I don't think people understand that there really is an incredible profit motive in the abortion industry. Is that one of the dirty little secrets that we just don't hear about?
That is the big dirty secret you don't hear about. It's one of the largest unregulated legal industries in the nation today, and they can kill women and no one reports it. I mean, after all, the family doesn't want to come forward, and of course they can sock that money away, and it's mostly cash, so we don't even know how much income tax they pay.
Carol, one of the frightening things is that if you go to the dentist, he's highly regulated, or she is highly regulated. That's true of virtually any type of medical practice. Abortion is a very serious surgical procedure. Whether you agree with the morality of it or not, it is a serious surgical procedure, most normally done under anesthesia. It has risk, but most states have very little, if any, regulation.
Still unregulated. And you remember when we regulated abortion clinics in 2013 with HB2, all of the abortion clinics in Texas were unable to meet that low standard for surgical facilities, ambulatory surgical facilities, except 19. 19 remained open out of the over 40 that closed. And today, of course, that's not true anymore. The law was not upheld, but women still heard the truth. And if you go into some states, literally, abortion clinics are not required to have hot water.
You know, you would think that the abortionists themselves and the people who believe that that's a wonderful thing would demand that there is very thorough hygiene, that there's extraordinary medical capacity. Why not?
Well, we're not talking about the top doctors. We're not talking about board-certified OB-GYNs. We're talking about doctors that can't work anywhere else. They leave, they're kicked out of a profession, they have nowhere to go, they start doing abortions. And since there are no standards, they don't have to be obstetricians, gynecologists, they don't even have to be family practitioners. In some states, of course, they're trying to do lesser and let nurse practitioners do abortions.
And Carol, when you were running abortion clinics, abortion mills, if you will, what kind of things would you say to people to convince them that they should have an abortion?
We lied to them.
You lied to them?
Yes, we lied to them. They all had two questions. Is it a baby? And we said no. It's a glob of tissue, it's a product of conception, it's a blood clot, but we never said it's a baby. Yet when we went to the back, we had to literally reconstruct every baby as early as an abortion could be performed to be certain we didn't leave any body parts in the woman.
Oh my gosh, I mean, that's chilling to hear that you go back and make sure that there's not a hand or a foot. So
yes.
Those of you in the clinic, you knew full well this was a baby. You could see human body parts.
Absolutely. And when one of my employees would come up and say, oh, this was a tough one, I would say, but we helped that woman, we helped that woman. We didn't ever talk about that.
Did you honestly believe you were helping, or somewhere in your soul had you just decided, no, I'm not helping, but I'm making a lot of money?
It's a hard question to answer. The truth of the matter is I was dealing with my own abortion, and if I ever admitted abortion was wrong, then I had to face my own demons, and that was beyond what I could do.
You're sitting here today as one of the strongest pro-life advocates in America. What was the turning point for you?
There was a man who shared Christ with me, and he asked me to pray a prayer. I prayed a prayer, asking Jesus into my heart, actually never expecting it to make a change in me. But when I went back to the abortion clinic, I saw those women crying for the first time. And as I sat down and talked to them, I was not saying, You know, they had simple things. My parents would kill me. No, your parents love you. They'll be disappointed, but they'll stand by you. Would you like for me to go home with you and talk to your parents? Simple things. And at the end of the day, I was not celebrating the 3 lives I saved. I was saying I lost $75. And I fell to my knees in the floor of that abortion clinic and prayed, Lord, if there is a Lord, hit me over the head with a 2x4. Didn't know he had a 2x4 either, but he does.
He does. Yes, he does. I think I've learned never to pray that prayer because I'll find out he's got one,
yes,
sure enough.
And it hits. And we were caught doing abortions on women who were not pregnant.
Oh, my gosh.
And that was my answer.
Wow. Carol, when I think about abortion, we always talk about the baby and we almost demonize the mom, but I've come to the conclusion from dealing with women who have gone through this, they need our love. They need affirmation. They're a victim in so many cases because, as I said in the opening, often they're talked into it. They're persuaded and pushed, and they're scared, and they don't know what to do. How important is it that we also show love and compassion and tenderness toward that mother who's facing that very tough choice, or even if she's made it?
That's the woman that needs our help and our love in a way. I mean, think about it. Why is she walking through the door of an abortion clinic? She doesn't see any other way out. So we must love her, and our pregnancy centers across this nation do a great job of saving her and helping her, walking through that entire pregnancy with her. So we've got to love her. We need to share Christ with her. We need to be there for her.
And you're living proof that there's no such thing as an unforgivable sin. You committed what many people would have said, but you're sitting here today. You created an organization called the Heidi Group. What do you do?
Well, right now we're in what I think is the final step. You know, our pregnancy centers save babies' lives and mothers and nurture them through, and then where do they go after that when they need a medical home and medical care? So we think we're completing that final step by offering life-affirming health care in a full clinic designed to offer the choice of life physically and eternally and hope to those women.
Carol, your story is powerful. It's troubling, but it's also life-affirming. And I hope it gives a lot of hope to women out there who made a decision, it may have been 30 or 40 years ago, to end the life of a child. But you've given them hope tonight that they don't have to just say, I can't do anything about it, because they can. And I want to say thank you for your courage and candor being here tonight.
Thank you.
Carol Everett, my thanks to Carol for joining us and sharing the truth about the abortion industry. I know many people would prefer just to keep all of these things hidden. But if you'd like to know more or want to help women and families cope with problem pregnancies in life-affirming ways, you can find her nonprofit, the Heidi Group, on Facebook or at HeidiGroup.org.